welcome to a special edition of the Hoop Dreams podcast. As you all may see, we are in a special place.
Yes.
Doing some special things. We are in Las Vegas, out of all places, to share the history and the legacy of St. Joseph High School. But joining us today on the Hoop Dreams podcast, man, is a good friend, an alum, and a man that's been doing some amazing things with his life. We're going to let him talk a little bit about that, but I'm Will Gates. This is my dog,
Arthur Agee.
And joining us on the Hoop Dreams podcast is Dr. Tej Singh. Dr. Singh, we do some things differently on our podcast, but the first question I just want to throw at you before we get into the legacy, the St. Joe's legacy and the foundation and what you're going to be doing with that. Tell us about the first time you saw Hoop Dreams.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm really honored that you guys are here in Vegas. I live in California, but obviously this building and this Legacy Foundation is based in Vegas. As you said, I'm a graduate of St. Joe's. I graduated in 1985. I went on to become a doctor in Chicago, and in 1994, I was in California at Stanford University. And I knew that there was a movie being filmed in 1987 when you both joined St. Joe's. Mm-hmm. And I was at that time in college and getting ready for medical school. 1994, I was in Silicon Valley doing my work, and I looked in the newspaper and it said, Hoop Dreams is playing at Town Theater outside of San Jose, a small little theater. I'd only been in California a year at that point. And I went to the Town Theater and they saw this poster of the Hoop Dreams movie. Mm-hmm. I took my wife, I'd only been married about a year at that point. And I said, we're gonna see a movie. It's gonna be an hour and a half. We'll just see some St. Joe's history here. I sat in the theater. There was only 10 people in the theater. Mm. And the first time the movie came up, I thought, oh yeah, okay. The minute I saw St. Joe's, the entrance of St. Joe's, and I saw you both walking in the hallways and on that basketball court, it struck a tear in my eye. I started crying. I had gone back to my years, 9 years earlier at St. Joe's. Mm-hmm. And seeing that movie, which really just enthralled me for three hours almost, right? A 3 hour movie
2 hours, 50 minutes.
That shared with me my life, not as a basketball player, but shared with me what I had come through at St. Joe's. I worked very hard at St. Joe's, but as we'll talk about, St. Joe's was more than just a high school diploma. Mm-hmm. St. Joe's was for me learning about different people, learning about your life. And as a doctor, to me, I take care of patients, but I'm also looking at where you both came from and the lives that you were sharing with us, your family, your father, your mother, your brother, how you guys came to that school. I got dropped off in a nice car by my dad. You guys
took the bus.
And that brought back memories that maybe I had appreciated, but it really gave me a strong foundation. All of my boys, I have 3 sons, they all have watched Hoop Dreams. They know that the roots. One of the reasons I'm a big believer in legacy is that where you came from, you should never forget. You should never forget where you come from. Yep. Good, bad, or ugly. Lucky if you've been privileged that you've had support. Never forget your roots. Legacy is all about remembering that where you are today really came from where you started. You got to remember that.
I'm so glad you brought up the word legacy, because that's why we're here. This is to honor and celebrate the St. Joseph legacy. Yours, mine, Agee's. Yeah. And so why don't you share with us, like what's going on down here, and why Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Why not Westchester, Illinois? Why not Chicago, Illinois?
Yeah, thanks, William. 8th grade student, went to a school in Berkeley. I was told one day I got to go take a math test at St. Joseph. I was like, St. Joseph, what is that? I'm just gonna go to Proviso West. What is it, St. Joseph? I'm not Christian. Right. I'm not Catholic Brothers School. My parents know nothing about that. Right. And Proviso West is going to cost us $25, and this is going to cost us some money. I walked into the gymnasium with my teacher. I walked into the building with my teacher. I walked past this beautiful gymnasium. I saw Coach Pingator, red shorts, yelling at the team. I saw the scoreboard. I said, wow. And if you're any of those who have walked through the St. Joe's Gymnasium in the 80s or the 90s, it had a feeling. It had a feeling like you were in something special. It had an old school basket. Of course, we played physical education in that gym, but on Friday nights and on Saturday nights, that building transformed into something amazing. So the school closed in 2021. And some of me and my investors, with initial, while I'm a doctor now, I also have a medical device company. We said we got to preserve this legacy because Dr. Singh believes in this legacy. And so we went into the auction, really all checkbooks wide open, ready to go. We had to buy things that we thought would give a legacy to St. Joe's. And of course, we've walked through some of the academic parts of the building, but we're in the gymnasium. We tried to recreate the St. Joseph Gymnasium, not to the size of a full court basketball court, but so that when you walk into this, you will feel like you're kind of in a snow globe at Christmas time.
Yep.
You shake it and the snow's all flying around. This is a snow globe of the legacy of St. Joe's. Everything here, I'd say about 90% of this is authentic. Anything that's personal that might have been owned by somebody else, we've recreated to give us that flavor. The scoreboards are original, the basketball rims are original, the trophies, awards, banners are original. We've had some muralists from Las Vegas help us with the feeling of the Charger Bolt, the basketball, the Coach Pingator. But probably the thing that's going to rattle anybody who comes to this building and rattles me when I'm here late at night, when I just want to have that inspiration of my life, is this floor. This is the original, I guess after 1992 or 93 floor that was created on top of the asphalt floor, the tile floor. And this is the original hardwood floor that has been lifted from St. Joe's, trucked over here safely and installed. And this floor, the whole persona of basketball, the St. Joe soccer legacy, to me is really a special place. I get the privilege of opening this place sometimes at Sunday night at 10 o'clock and putting a chair down here. And I go back my whole life in Chicago. I go back to my father's time. I go back to my academic successes at St. Joe's. And it charges me up to go back to whatever I'm going to do next. This is a charging place. That's the Legacy Charger Gym.
I like that name.
Yeah.
The Legacy Charger Gym.
Yeah.
I guess my next question for you would be, but how did you know what you wanted? There's so much history,
Right.
there's so much tradition there, and I'm sure others would like to say, well, why basketball? Why not, just soccer because you're a soccer guy? Why not the football team? Why not, the baseball team?
Right. Well, I think, and I didn't answer the other part of your question. I got excited about the gym. Is why Las Vegas? Well, I'll tell you why it was Las Vegas. Las Vegas has, of course, a destination name. And of course, here we are post-COVID. People are flocking on weekends to this place. It's becoming a sports city with the Raiders, the Golden Knights, hopefully basketball. It's got USA Basketball's name all over here. You got UNLV, right? Yeah. Tarkanian and the
Las Vegas Aces, the women's team.
The women's team doing very well down here.
Yes.
And sports, gambling, great fan base here. So it was a natural for me to think of a destination city. Would have loved to kept it in Chicago. I think the last 5-6 years of St. Joseph's, the trauma that I experienced of St. Joseph's being broken into, the trophies being damaged. I wanted this to be preserved, so security. I wanted it to be a destination. I wanted St. Joe's people to come to a place and visit that they know, Las Vegas. Second part of it is our investors. Obviously, you got to get a building. We own this building. Our investors bought this building for our medical device. And as part of the building, when we bought the building, we had already bought these things and were storing them at my mother's home in Wayne, Illinois. There was a part of this building that was labeled gym. And when I saw the blueprints, I said, gym. Well, I got a perfect place. And then I asked St. Joe's, and they said a lot of the academic things that you were talking about, Will, are not going to be saved at St. Joe's. Can you take the academic things? So we have an academic memorabilia Coach Pingator room. But I think Las Vegas fits. It's a great city. It's a great city to encompass what St. Joe's is. Hopefully we'll get not only alumni, we'll get a lot of basketball people to come through here and appreciate the energy. Why basketball? St. Joe's was a great school. Yeah. St. Joe's was a great academic school. St. Joe's was a school where anybody of any color, any race, and of course it became a co-ed school, but when we were there, it was an all-boys school. Yep. The legacy of St. Joe's will always be the success that happened that we as a fan base and as students experienced from November to March. That fan base, the loyalty is sitting in Section 3, going down to Champaign, and really that comes down to the legacy of really who is St. Joe's, is Coach Gene Pingator.
Yep.
And Coach Gene Pingator has been at that school. We learned tonight that he was a physical education teacher in 1967. He took over the program. He wanted to be a lawyer. One time he wanted to be a doctor. He stuck to basketball. Thank God he did.
Yep.
He changed the lives of so many men and women and his family by being what he did at St. Joe's. I didn't play basketball. My memories of Coach Pingator was every time I got an honor award, he was the one that gave it to me. And there's a lot about Coach Pingator which we could take up and do a whole feature on him and his life.
Yeah.
But to me, St. Joseph, academic, diverse, basketball powerhouse with great leadership, great athletes, and a great fan base supporting that school, and just a great icon in the city of Chicago.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Dr. Singh, was upon you graduating from St. Joe's, going into University of Chicago, did you think that what St. Joe's had given you personally and educationally, emotionally, did you think that you were going to go into University of Chicago and do what you did and became what you became?
You know, that's a great question, Arthur, because I think people always think, hey, it's about my grades, it's about my SAT scores, it's about who my family knows. And education from the ages of 14 to 18, which is high school for the average kid in America, is a lot more than what the books will tell you. And I can say this now, and having raised 3 young men, I will tell you that what St. Joe's gave me was the education, the thinking, the deep thought, and the work ethic. I had to work. I was taking honors classes. You know, Coach Pingator wanted me to be a manager for the basketball team my junior year. I went to 2 practices, 3 practices. I came home at 9 o'clock. My dad looked at me and he says, we're a typical Indian family. We need you to be academically successful. You're ranked number 1 in the class. If you're going to go every night till 9 o'clock for these practices, it's going to be hard for you to keep up your grades. And I went to Coach Pingator. I said, you know, I don't think I can be your manager. And he said, you will be successful if you work hard. If you're going to work hard in the books, you will be successful. So that was a lesson, even him.
Wow.
First of all, think about this. I'm a turban-wearing young man, bearded at St. Joe's. First probably graduate ever with a beard because you couldn't keep a beard, but religious reasons kept a beard. And he's telling me to be the manager of the team, taking me to all the championship games, Champaign, wherever. He didn't mind a turban guy, Indian guy on his bench. Think about that right there, guys. This is 1982
82.
to 83, 84.
Yes.
Okay? That's him. Okay? He had no problem with that. Amazing. What St. Joe's taught me when I was in 1986, 87 at University of Chicago was you better learn how to talk to people. You better accept everybody, especially if you're going to go into medicine, because you don't get to choose who comes through the emergency room.
Wow.
You don't get to choose. At the University of Chicago, as you guys have your roots in that area, you know the University of Chicago, south side of Chicago is a rough place.
Yes, very
And
well.
you're going to get medical diseases there that you don't see on the western suburbs.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of people not taking care of themselves. There are a lot of people who know how to take care of themselves, but they're not listening to themselves. And it's a hard life. And I think St. Joe's taught me to accept people, to work with people, and accept people for who they are, and to do my best to help as many people as I could with a medical, in my particular case, medicine.
Medicine.
So gave me the books, gave me the brain, gave me the work ethic, and gave me people. And that's why I'm so special that you two are here. I really am really touched that you two are my first and second guests in this foundation. And I made my investors know that this is a really special thing for me to have you two here.
Well, it's our pleasure, and you.
Very much so.
I love everything that you're doing, but I want to just really quickly turn it back to Coach Pingator. You've touched on this before about what it took for Coach Ping to not just have you there, but folks that look like me, you know, African American, being out in, you know, the western suburbs. Even when we got there in the late 80s, AG, when you and I was there, weren't very many African Americans there. But what it took for him to look past that and be accepting, and not only just be accepting, but lead the charge to say, hey, no, these are people, you know, they're going to be valuable, productive citizens, and we can help them along the way. I guess my question to you is, did you notice that character in Coach Ping right away, that trait?
No, and that's a great question. My first African-American friend in my life was at St. Joe's, Renato Williams,
I know
the
Renato.
point guard,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
For that 1981 Proviso West team. Renato Williams sat with me in a typing class. He had great cologne all the time. Because I didn't wear cologne. I was like, wow. He was a little bit taller than me. I had to look up to Tony Reeder and Daryl Thomas.
Right.
But Renato, hey, Renato, my first African-American friend. Tony Brown was in my class, in the class of 85 at St. Joe's. Tony Brown was my second African-American friend. Humble guys, nice guys. I didn't know them socially after school. I didn't go to their neighborhoods. I didn't do any of it. They didn't go to my neighborhood. But I just knew they were nice people. But I just had this sense that Coach Pingator was just a real enforcing kind of guy. My image of him and the shorts on the coach. And of course, before every game, I'd walk by him and say, hey, coach, good luck in the game. And he would always pat me on the back. Hey, how are the books? How was everything? And he would always, before a semifinal Proviso West tournament, I walked by him on the sidelines and he'd say, hey, how are the books? Okay, they're going okay. They're all right. I'm studying. All right. But did I think he was accommodating? I didn't realize that. I'll tell you when I realized that. I didn't realize that till on his funeral, when they finally took him into his casket, and I went to Lisa, Lisa was my class. He was IHM 85, and Lisa was a student, his daughter. I said, Lisa, I just want to tell you that now, after looking back at my time at St. Joe's and seeing the basketball players that have come to this funeral, your father was a very much special man ahead of his time. Just the fact that he even wanted to put me on the bench with him, meaning sitting on the other end of that bench where he'd be sitting, because here's a skinny Indian guy with a turban on our basketball team. I mean, this is Chicago 1981 to 85, guys. Yeah. We're going into central Illinois. We're playing in the city of Chicago, right? I know the kind of things I faced growing up, right? I mean, St. Joe's wasn't always nice to me. I mean, people would tap me on my turban and do things to me, but the school never gave me a hard time. Coach Pingator was in my corner. If I ever had a problem that I needed someone to help me, they were going to help me. But he was ahead of his time back then, guys.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He was ahead of his time. And if his legacy is that he really took care of his people, whatever color, academic, financial, economic, if we all could live with that kind of a well-being in our life, how good this world would be.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his time.
He was. Huge.
Now, Dr. Singh, upon bringing everything, auctioning it out, buying the stuff, putting it here, and tell us about the scholarships.
So as you know, St. Joseph is all about honoring people for work and legacies and really rewarding people. And of course, people come there on scholarships. And, I think scholarship, I looked at this building and this gym being complete, I said, what can we do to inspire the next generation? Some of us have graduated, some of us have our kids, but there's a bunch of us out there who really feel that what Coach Pingator and the school would like, and Principal Hotek and Mr. Q and John McAuliffe and I have talked about these over the years, is to honor the graduates and the next generation. So there are 2 scholarships, Arthur and William, that we are funding. And when you visit here, you're not paying for the electricity. You're not paying for the cleaning of the sweeping of the floor. I'll do that.
Right.
What you're paying for, more importantly, is for the foundation to give every December money to 2 pools of very special kids. So pool number 1 is the Gene Pingator Basketball Scholarship. What this is, and Coach Pingator only coached men, any basketball player who got coached by Coach Pingator, who is now got a great-grandson, great-granddaughter, great-grandson, son, daughter, anybody, any player's child who's in high school today would send in an application, give us their academics, show us what they're doing academic, what school they're doing, tell us about their basketball career, tell us about how they're playing basketball, how they're living the Coach Pingator basketball work ethic. And if they do that and they have that connection or pedigree from Coach Pingator, the pedigree is very important to us. We'll take 1 year, we'll take 2 years of varsity, we'll take, hey, I was coached by him in the summer camps and I played 1 year under a coach that was in Pingator. And, we'll take the pedigree of basketball and we'll give that daughter, son, grandson, great-grandson, whatever, a $1,000 scholarship, which is renewable if you keep up they come in as a freshman, they're at some high school in Chicago, they're doing well. They keep up the grades. They're now excelling to better ranking in the scene in Chicago. Boy or girl, we'll give them that scholarship. They can get it for up to 4 years. So that's $4,000.
Yep.
And that comes with a special Legacy Foundation certificate, and you should put that on your college application. So that's for Coach Pingator's athletes whose children now are playing basketball at some pedigree level. The Worker Award, Legacy Worker Award, is for the St. Joe's student, once again, pedigree from St. Joe's, has to be an alumni, whose great-grandson, son, daughter, could be boy or girl. It could be someone who graduated from St. Joe's female in 2010, 11, who is now doing well in the community, who's doing well academically. We look at the grades, we look at the scores, and that's also renewable. But we're looking really at community service. We want to see that you're continuing the St. Joe legacy of the community. It'd be great if our applicants are basketball players and they're doing community work. I don't think we'll give double, but we'll give them one. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for our future legacy St. Joe grads to have Charger pride, to be Chargers in the community, to make sure that when Coach Pingator looks down at us and all the faculty that are, and all the graduates who are up there higher than where we are today, look down and say St. Joe's is continuing its trajectory. And there's many other things that I think, St. Joe's will be continuing to do that we've talked about with you all. And I think it's all about the legacy. And so those 2 scholarships will start in October, Arthur. The application will be on our website, stjoeslegacy.com. Download it, mail it in, email it, fax it in. We'll make our decisions in December, and we'll announce them right before the Proviso West tournament in
Dr.
December
Singh,
15th.
Nice. To astound on that, because I know a lot of our younger listeners are going to watching this, and they're going to want to say, the Worker Award. What does Dr. Singh mean by that, and what are the words behind that worker?
Yeah. So to me, the worker is what St. Joe's gives the Worker Award to. Obviously, we get it 10 years after we graduate. We've done something with our career. To me, a high school student who's excelling academically, who's got service in their mind, community service to your grandmother, service to your community, service to your Sunday church, service to where you're making an impact on people's lives. It's easy to sit in front of a television and say, I'm going to watch NBA basketball today, I'm working. That doesn't count. It's what did you do by saying, hey, the DVR is going to get the game, but I'm going into the community because I've got to feed some people, or I got to do some medical care. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a paramedic. I'm going to go on that paramedic ambulance ride this morning and see if I can help with supplies. Working in our community. It can, to me, you take care of your grandparents, you're working. Because you're taking care of them. You're helping your community. Your grandparents can offer. So to me, it's very loose, Arthur. Okay. Of course, these are competitive, so we might have people applying. We'll have to triage. I just want kids to apply, to write what they're sharing with us. We'll share some of that on the internet with Anonymous. But it's going to prepare these kids for college. It's going to prepare them for life. And we hope that our alumni donate a lot, that we can give 5 or 6 of these every year.
Yeah.
If we get 15 applications, let us give 10 away. Let's give 12 away.
Yeah.
The more our legacy and our alumni are giving to this foundation, the more you're going to see these wonderful pedigree of St. Joe, great-grandfather's kids, grandfather's daughters succeed.
And keep it there. How can alumni get involved?
Yeah, so I think there's many ways to be involved. I think there's in-kind. Obviously, the more we decorate this gymnasium, people are going to want to see stuff. So you can make an in-kind donation and say, hey, can you hang this up? We'll be sharing some tomorrow. A wonderful, I haven't even seen it yet, a 1964 sweater from St. Joe's. Someone has donated that. Mr. McFarland, credit to him. That will be shown tomorrow. So in-kind donations. You have something, you want to optimize this. We can optimize this even more than what we've done, and I know we will. You can go and say, hey, I'm going to come to one of the St. Joe open houses, $50 donation. On a Saturday, we have the calendar on the website. You can say, hey, I'm going to be in Vegas. I want to come. Can I bring my son, my daughter? Make a donation. Spend your Saturday here with us. Walk around, take photographs, take video, do the social media, advertise it. You can donate. You can donate and say, I really believe in this, what you guys are doing. I want to donate X amount. There's a donation link on the site. Our investors will make sure that we get scholarships going. It would be great. This will only get bigger and better the more the St. Joe's alumni step in and help our people make this bigger and better. It'll be safe. It'll always be here. Maybe we got a problem that we got to get a bigger gym one day. That's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem.
Good problem. But they can donate and they can participate. And it's all to make anything you do for St. Joe's is going to help St. Joe's.
Give us the why.
Why did I do it? I'm a man who believes that you never forget where you came from. The first room in this building, we haven't gone in there yet, is a dedication to my father. It's very private, it's family. It's a dedication to a man who brought my family out of India in 1969 and came here when I was 2 and set us up in Chicago to give us an opportunity. I'll never forget that. St. Joe's. I look back at St. Joe's and the teachers, the friends I made, the contacts I made, watching Hoop Dreams, seeing where you all participated in the St. Joe's history. I just don't want to forget my roots ever. I've been, God bless, very successful. I've been given great opportunities that God has given me, my family has given to me. I just never want to forget where I came from.
Well, I want to thank you personally because to see this space keeps the dream alive, keeps the legacy moving forward, and most importantly, the impact that it will have on the future generations
to come.
will just, I mean, it would exceed anything that we could have ever imagined and thought, because we all were hurt by the fact that when the school was closing, and I still remember that old fateful day, I get that email in the morning, I was like, what is this?
We all did. Yes.
And but the fact that this is here, I think whether you played at the school or not, if you're part of the St. Joseph family, it will connect you where you need to be connected at. So man, we want to thank you personally for doing what you did.